Hi, I'm Dr. Sharon Schutz with the Trinity County News, and I'm here with Daniel Key from Apple Springs, Groveton, from Groveton. Okay, I'm here with Daniel Key from Groveton, and he is running for Constable Precinct 4 in place of Reggie Olive, and we're here to tell you a little bit about him and get to know him a little bit and hear what you have to say and what you have to offer people. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you today. So tell us about your family first.
Well, my grandparents were both born. One was born in Apple Springs, one born in Nogales Prairie, J.D. and Betty Key. And they moved to Diboll. And that's where my father and my mom were both born in Diboll. I was raised in Diboll. And I traveled from Diboll. After I was of age, I went to work as a cop. I worked in Savannah Police Department. I've worked in Corrigan, San Jacinto County, and I've been in Groveton for about 7 years. And when I'm not doing that, I'm working construction. You know.
What led you to law enforcement?
I've always been I guess you would say a servant. I've always been wanting to help people. And that was the way I was raised. So
yeah.
It's a calling. I would say it's not. It's not for the money. It's not for anything. It's just something you enjoy doing. I enjoy people.
Right.
And it's one way of problem solving I like.
Well, I know we're living in a time in our culture that being a police officer is a lot more dangerous and a lot more difficult than it used to be.
Yes, ma'am.
And but fortunately, in most small towns, you know, we have some really good police officers
We
here
are
in Trinity
fortunate to
County.
have a great team of law enforcement
We
officers in
do.
this county. And that's one thing I plan to do. If elected, I plan to take that bond and move it into Precinct 4 and actually focus more on some of the drugs and the problems we have in Precinct 4 that's not noticed.
Right. Yeah. So your family, are you married? Do you have any children?
I am married. I have 2 children. I've got a 15-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old, maybe 11-year-old boy.
Bless you. Bless you. I tell you what, they will go through it. They will survive, and you will survive those teen years, I promise, especially if you have God on your side.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But, well, congratulations on that. I'll tell you what, it's awesome.
Parenting has been a very awesome thing for me and my wife.
It really is.
We got married young, and it's if it wouldn't be for the kids, we might have had money to have fun. But with the kids, we've been humbled.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Very humbling.
That will do it. Absolutely. We have 3. Of course, their kids are growing up. Our oldest granddaughter just went in the Navy this summer, and our youngest grandson is 6. So we have 10 of them spread out between those ages.
Man.
And yeah, eventually those will bring home more. So
always. They return. They multiply.
They do multiply. So, what does your wife do?
My wife is a CNA.
CNA.
Yes, she's a certified nursing assistant.
Cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And where she work?
They reside in Sweeney, Texas.
Ah.
I took a job a couple years back where I was running a construction company and operating cranes, and I moved them down there. And now we're trying to come back this way.
Yeah.
And I've been living in Groveton. When I'm working down here, I've been living down here. And on the weekends, I'll go home every now and then and see them, or they'll come here.
Right.
But my daughter's got about 1.5 years left of school, and she'll have a degree out of high school. Just out of high school, she'll walk away with a degree that the school paid for, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to move them until she graduates, and then she'll come down here, and our place will be up for sale up there.
Yeah. I know how it is when the kids get in school. My son just got a promotion, and he just moving to Abilene, just got an apartment. And his family's here. They have a home here. He's got a daughter that's going to be graduating from high school this year, and so they're staying here so she can graduate, and then they're going to move up there.
It's been rough being split up, you know, on a week. But me and my wife's been married 16 years, and she could probably use a break from me.
I can understand that.
So we're ready to all consolidate here.
Yeah. So. You've been a police officer with Groveton City for about 7 years?
About 6 or 7 years. John Rayford hired me I want to say 2 months after he was hired.
Yeah.
And I've worked on and off for him for 6, 7 years. And I've also carried a commission with Woody as a reserve. So when they're shorthanded, I'll go over there and help them out. So I've already established a working relationship with most every agency in the county.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine with you, with that many years.
Yeah.
One thing that we've seen in our county is that the sheriff's department, the city police, the constables, and the game wardens, they all work together.
Everybody is
do the job that needs to be done.
Everybody's here for the same reason. We're on the same team. And
Yeah.
when you have a small county with very little funds, you pull resources from everywhere.
Right.
And the one thing I can say about the law enforcement in this county is it doesn't matter if they're home eating dinner. If you need them, they're on their way. So, I mean,
Right.
you know, very dedicated.
I know that you got 2 people running against you,
Yes, ma'am.
and I know one of them, but I don't know if I don't know if I know the other. However, I want you to tell me what you can offer Trinity County Precinct 4 that maybe they can't.
I'm not saying they can't offer it.
Right.
It's just everybody has their own point of view on things, and a lot of things is how you take it.
Right.
And one thing is I want to open up the lines of communication back with Precinct 4 and the residents and the sheriff's office and the police department, so we all are on the same page. As it stands right now, it's kind of rough when you only have 2 or 3 deputies on duty, and most of your call activity is between here and Trinity.
Right.
You know, the patrols aren't there. So I want to open up and do a lot more proactive patrolling in the neighborhoods, do more traffic enforcement, get some of these drunk drivers off the road, texting and driving, get all this stuff, the little things that we can improve to make it safer for our children. Being out 2 o'clock in the morning riding around, that's when people are breaking into things. That's when your meth heads are out acting stupid.
Right.
That's the things I plan to bring back. Community involvement, neighborhood patrols, traffic enforcement. You know, just to the point where we can get some of these drunks off the street. Some of these, we've got people riding around that the car hasn't been legal in 12 years, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just because we don't notice it. You know, and the thing is bring it back safer for our community.
Right.
And, you know, that's the main thing I want to do is open it back up to where we're a service to the community. We're also a service of every other law enforcement agency in the area. Because Precinct 4 stretches from Groveton all the way out to the county line.
Yeah.
That's a big area. And
The county line.
well, and
Which
94.
way?
94 out beside Jimmy's and all that's Precinct 4.
I
a big
was
area.
about to ask you.
Yes.
What is the
Centralia, Nogales Prairie, part of Friday, Pennington, all the bars on 94 all the way to Angelina County. I mean, it's a vast area.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I do is I like being busy. I'm a very busy person.
Right.
I'm very motivated and self-driven. And I like working with other agencies. And that's the main thing we can do is get on one page, get to the schoolhouses, be involved with the next generation. And if we can do that and we can keep pushing, Woody Wallace has started the Don't Meth With Me. I want to take it and take it to the schools a little bit more when they're not available. Maybe get with Alexander, maybe get with Woody, Tommy, and be more involved in the schools, because if we're there, people will tell us what's going on. These kids will tell you what's going on at home. You know?
Yeah.
The biggest thing about law enforcement is you're a service. It's not so much being an authority figure, it's just being a service to the community. Right. The authority is part of it, but we got to get back to where we're listening to people. Get back to where we're making things safer at night.
When you made the decision to run for this office, something triggered it. What was it? What was it that, I'm going to go for it?
I have sought out the constable's office. Before this term, I talked to Reggie at a funeral a couple years ago, and I'd ask him, I said, hey, because I don't want to unseat somebody that,
right.
But Reggie's a good guy, and he is by far doing a great job in some areas, that he's been phenomenal at schoolhouses. So I asked him, I said, hey, are you ever going to retire or what? He goes, I probably won't run again. That was 2 years ago. And then right before I filed my paperwork, I pulled him aside. I said, "Hey, Reggie, where you at on things?" He goes, some days I want to, some days it just ain't worth the headaches. I'll make up my mind soon." Well, coming towards the end of the time period I had to go ahead and sign up without his answer, without, and right after I did, he told me he was going to retire. So, and then I had some more opponents come on board afterwards, but.
Right.
But what I felt like was, it's a position where I can help people. It's a very honorable position to be able to help people, serve the community in a capacity as a constable, and that's what I've wanted to do for a couple of years now.
We have some amazing constables.
Yes, we do.
Mark
Yes.
Cole is ours, and then of course Precinct 3 has Carl Casey and
Both very good men, and Tommy.
Tommy Park. Yes, absolutely. In fact, he's going to be running for another office.
He's running for the commissioner's position.
Absolutely.
And I think he'll be a great asset.
Oh, I'm sure he will. He's an asset wherever he's at.
Yes, ma'am.
What I want you to do now is look into that camera and talk to your constituents, the people that will be in your precinct. Because I can't vote for you, yes or no. It doesn't
Yes,
matter
ma'am.
what I think, but it does matter what they think. So tell them why they should vote for you and why you feel like you can do the job. I'm not going to say a better job because I know that you're not competing in that regard.
No, you as a constable, I'd bring the neighborhoods back to where you see a patrol car in there more often. I would be more involved in your schools and slow some of these drivers down that are texting and driving all in your lanes. I'm dedicated. If you want somebody dedicated, I'd be the pick you'd choose. I'm young enough to still get out there and do everything that needs to be done. And I've been in this game long enough. I have a thought process to slow down and try to de-escalate everything before we get to the point of where we're out there fighting with everybody every 5 minutes. If you want a community service, that's what I want to do. I want to get rid of your meth heads. I want to get rid of your drunk drivers. But it's a community involvement, and that's why you should vote for me.
Thank you for coming in and sitting down with us.
Not a problem.
Good luck on that.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We'll see what happens. Yes, ma'am.